Hi, good morning. Welcome to Down Yoga. My name is Victor. This is an all levels class, 60 minutes. All we need is our mat today. Let's start in a seated position. You can choose to sit in Virasana or in Sukhasana with your legs crossed. Any seated position that allows you to stay with a straight spine, lengthening the entire torso. And you can rest your hands on top of your thighs and close your eyes for the first few breaths. Just notice how your body's feeling, how your breath is flowing. Allow the breath to become deeper and heavier. Or to just watch how the body moves with the natural flow of the breath. You can start working on Ujjayi Pranayama, creating that soft sound through the back of the throat. Gently blocking the passage of the air allows you to have more control on the breath and also on the mind, staying present. Let's keep our attention with the breath the best we can. And then from here, start reaching the top of the chest up to the ceiling and the tailbone down to the floor. So you're creating more length through the entire spine. If your eyes are closed, you can slightly open it, reach your hands forward. And as you reach the hands forward, try to move the chest away from the hands. So you're rounding the upper back, hollowing the chest. Keep the breath long, slow and even. Reach your hands further forward. We're trying to stretch the muscles in between our shoulder blades, bring the shoulder blades to the sides of the body. Now interlace the fingers together, flip your palms forward, reaching still. And then let's reach the hands up towards the ceiling. And keep the tailbone pointing down so you're not arching on the lower back, arms straight. Breathe into the sides of the body, to the back ribs. Maybe look up towards your hands, keep the breath long. Release your hands down to the floor. Now we will flip your palms so your fingertips are pointing back. Let's do a little wrist stretch here. Put the weight on the heels of your hands, and you can try to get your hips a little heavier towards your heels here. Try to move the shoulders down. Start putting more weight on the base of the fingers. Maybe even lift the heels of the hands off the floor. Shift forward and let's move into a tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Few rounds of cat and cow following your own breath. Allow the breath to guide you through the movement. Inhale. You can slowly arch your back. Bring the chest through the arms. Drop the belly down. Exhale, tailbone pointing down. Draw the belly in. Spread your shoulder blades wide. Chin to the chest. 2 more times. Inhale. Start arching the back. Exhale, round. One more time. Keep moving with the breath. Once you took a deep inhale, start the exhale and then round the back. Bring your spine back to neutral. Walk your hands slightly forward. Let's move into downward facing dog. Take your toes under and start pedaling your feet a few times here. waking up the hamstrings. Bend your left knee, drive the right heel down to the floor. And then switch. Bend your right knee, left leg straight. Try to keep your feet slightly apart so your feet are as wide as your hips and the hands as wide as your shoulders. Keep moving the hips back as well, lengthening evenly both sides of the waist. Let's find some stillness now, reaching both heels down to the floor, long through the back of the legs. Keep the weight even on both of your hands, chin towards the chest. Inhale, let's move forward into plank pose. Bring your knee into your chest, right knee into your chest. Round your back slightly. Keep pushing the floor away from you, shoulder blades active. Then step the right foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, left knee into your chest. Again, find a small roundness on the upper back. Keep strong with the right leg, engaging the right thigh. Exhale, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. One more time. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, right knee to your nose. Inhale, back into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Inhale, back into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 deep slow breaths. Driving the heels down towards the floor, pushing the front of your thighs back. Weight towards the base of your index finger on both of your hands. And let's look in between the hands, raise the heels high, bend your knees. You can either step or hop to the front of the mat. Bend your knees slightly. Then you can hold on to your elbows and sway side to side a few times here. And keep a generous bend on the knees so the bottom of your belly touches the top of your thighs. And if you have more weight on the heels, you can move the hips forward. Feel a little more on the hamstrings. Release your hands down to the floor. And then let's roll all the way up. Rounding the back one vertebra at a time. And you can allow your head to be the last thing to come up. Once you're up, roll the shoulders back. Form all 4 corners of both feet down to the floor. Engage your thighs, and you can have your toes touching or your feet slightly apart. Keep hugging the navel in, broaden the chest. Let's do a few sun salutation. For deep inhale, reach the hands up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale with a straight back, fold forward, bend your knees if you need, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up, straight back. Exhale, plant your hands, you can step or hop back. Move your shoulders forward, knees up or down, Chaturanga Dandasana. For this first one, let's lower all the way down to the belly. Tops of the feet on the floor, come up into Cobra. Inhale, reaching forward with your chest. And point your toes as far back as you can so your kneecaps lift off the floor. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, Cobra Pose again. Lift a little higher. Exhale, lower down. This time inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Your choice here, keep your legs strong. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. You can press the heels down. Keep it long through the entire spine. Inhale, let's look forward. Raise your heels high, bend your knees. You can either step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach, Urdhva Hastasana. Allow the palms to touch on top, look in between the hands. Exhale, Samastiti, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands. This time you can either step or hop back halfway down. Moving to Cobra or Up Dog as you inhale. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Notice again how the breath's flowing through the body. Keep driving your heels down, hips moving away from the shoulders. Inhale, look forward, raise your heels, bend your knees, step or float forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, let's reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. As you exhale, let's plant your hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm getting really long again. Step the feet together, toes touching. Take a deep inhale, reach the right leg back. Look at your toes, the right toes. Make sure they are pointing down to the floor. Bring your right knee into the right elbow. Exhale. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, right knee across to your left elbow. Inhale, reach the right leg back. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose and hold. Keep reaching the left heel back, left quads strong. And then step the right foot in between the hands. You can move the right foot 1 or 2 inches to the right so it stands a little bit wider. Reach forward with your chest. Reach your hands up to the ceiling for Crescent Pose. Start with a small bend on the left knee here. Bend your right knee a little deeper. And keep lifting the front of your hips up, tailbone pointing down to the floor. And keeping the pelvis neutral, start reaching the left heel further back. Reach a little more with your back ribs. And breathe. Exhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Now walk your right foot outside your right hand into a lizard lunge. You can readjust the feet as needed. And from here you can walk the hands forward, fingertips down the floor, or lower your forearms down to the floor. Whatever works for you. Keep the left leg strong here. Try to keep reaching forward with the chest so you're still finding length through the entire body here. Bring your hands back underneath the shoulders. If you're reaching back, pick your right foot off the floor. Hold here. Keep pushing the floor down and away from you. Deep inhale, reach the right leg back again. And as you exhale, still on the right leg, right knee into your nose. Lower the left heel. Let's move into a falling star. Bring your right foot all the way to the left hand up to the ceiling. Keep the shoulders moving away from the ears. Spinning the left triceps back. And bring right knee into your chest. Both hands on the floor, step back into plank pose, halfway down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And with an exhale, downward facing dog. Really long again, pushing down with the hands. Bring the toes together again, feet together. Deep inhale, reach the left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to your left elbow, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, left knee across to the right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose, and let's hold here for a few breaths. Work on rounding the upper back, raising the chest away from the floor. And then lightly left foot in between the hands. You can move your left foot slightly to the left again, so your stance is a little bit wider. Reaching the hands up to the ceiling for Crescent Pose. Keeping the pelvis neutral, reaching the right heel back. And the right leg doesn't have to be 100% straight. See what works best for you there. Bend your left knee a little deeper. Reaching up with the size of the body. Keep watching the breath, how it's flowing. Exhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Heel toe your left foot outside your left hand to a lizard lunge. And you can keep here with the hands underneath your shoulders or reach the hands forward, keep your fingertips on the floor. And the final option, forearms down to the floor. Keep your right leg strong here so the right knee is off the floor. Engaging the right quads, reaching forward with your chest, lengthening the upper back. Keep your attention on the right leg. Hands back underneath your shoulders. Push the floor down away from you again, strong. Engaging the triceps. Pick your left foot off the floor. Let's hold here for a couple breaths. Firm your left knee to your left triceps. Take a deep inhale, three-legged dog. Still on the left leg. Reach back. Exhale, knee to your nose. Left knee to your nose. Reach the left foot all the way to the right into a fallen star. Right heel touches the floor. Right hand reaches up. Spin the left triceps back, shoulders still moving away from the ears. And then bring the left knee into your chest again, hand down. Step back into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 deep, slow breaths here. Deep inhale, raise the right leg one more time. Exhale, right knee into your nose. Step your right foot in between your hands. And lower the left heel down to the floor. Keep your alignment heel to heel or a little wider. Hips and chest square with the floor. Come up into Warrior One. Bend your right knee. Keep squaring the hips and the chest with the front of your mat. And you can keep your hands apart. Maybe you touch your palms or interlace your fingers together for Virabhadrasana 1. Keep pushing back with the outer edge of your left foot, hugging the navel in and up, supporting the lower back. Now release your hands, bring the hands behind your back. Reach your knuckles down to the floor. Broaden your chest, bring your shoulders wide. Take a deep inhale, raise your chest. Exhale, fold into Humble Warrior. Bring the right shoulder close to the right knee. And keep reaching forward here with both sides of the body. Three more breaths here. Keep the weight at the center of the right heel, light with the right toes. Inhale, let's come up into Warrior One more time. Exhale, lower the hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, reach the left leg back. Exhale, knee to your nose, slowly. Step your left foot in between your hands, right heel down. Hips and chest squared with the floor again. Let's come up into Warrior One. And moving the right side of the hip forward. Seal the outer edge of the right foot down to the floor. Hands apart, palms touching, or interlace the fingers for a few breaths. Keep the engagement of the right leg. Bring the hands behind your back this time. Interlace again, maybe the other thumb goes on top this time. Broaden your chest, take a deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, humble warrior. Left shoulder towards the left knee. And again, reaching evenly with the sides of the body straight forward. Keep light on the left toes, pushing down with the left heel. Release your hands, inhale, Warrior One more time. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Come halfway down with your knees up or down. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Down Dog. Again, staying with the breath. Lengthening the back of your legs. Deep inhale, looking between the hands, raise your heels. Bend your knees, you can step or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees, swing your hands forward and up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Toes together, squeezing the thighs together as well. You can roll the tailbone slightly down. Moving the weight towards your heels, moving the shins back. Let's bend the knee a little deeper. A few more deep, slow breaths. One more deep breath, bend your knees a little deeper. Then inhale, stand up, hands to heart center. Inhale, let's reach the hands up, chair pose, bend your knees, sink your hips low. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, come halfway up. And as you exhale, come into crow pose, plant your hands down on the floor. If you're skipping crow, you can take a few breaths in Asana, the Yogi Squat. Wherever you are, let's stay here for a few breaths. Bend your knees as much as you need. If your toes are off the floor, point your toes back. A few more deep, slow breaths. From here, you can either step or jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep, slow breaths here. Inhale, raise the right leg, right toes still pointing down to the floor. Reaching with the right heel. Exhale, right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, reach back again. Exhale, right knee across to the left elbow. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee to your nose, raise your chest away from the floor, pushing down with your hands. Set your right foot in between your hands. Left heel down to the floor, come up into Warrior Two. Weight down the heels. And affirming the heels towards each other, working with the inner thighs. Scissoring the legs towards each other. Keep pointing the tailbone down to the floor so you're not dumping the weight onto your lower back. Try to soften the shoulders the best you can. Keep reaching evenly with both arms. Let's bend your right knee a little deeper here. Soften the gaze over the right hand. Keep the attention with the left arm. Now bring the hands together and move straight into Skandasana. So bend your left knee, point your right toes up towards the ceiling, and if you cannot touch your left heel off the floor, you can lift your left heel. Keep your hands together here for a few breaths. And for now, we're going to move straight into Warrior Three. So with or without the hands on the floor. We'll place the right foot down to the floor, square the hips and the arms, hands together. Pick your left leg off the floor. Try to keep your hips level. Firm the shoulder blades into your back so your chest is broad. And reach as far back as you can with your left heel. Top of the chest reaching forward. Any variation with the hands. You can choose to reach back or reach forward. Now we start bending both knees, bend your standing leg. We'll step the feet together, reach the hands forward, squat all the way down. And we'll make our way straight into boat pose. And you can keep your knees bent or the legs straight. Take a deep inhale on boat. Exhale, come halfway down. Half boat, Ardha Dandasana. Inhale, back up, boat pose. Exhale, half boat. Inhale, boat. Exhale, Ardha Dandasana, halfway down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, come up. Now cross your shins, and you can hold the outer edges of your feet and bring your feet as close as you can to your hips. Roll forward, plant your hands, and you either step or jump back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And with an exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 deep, slow breaths here in down dog. And keep pushing the heels down towards the floor, lengthening the legs, hips moving back away from your shoulders. On your next inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, reach back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee across the right elbow. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose, shoulders over the wrists. Left foot in between the hands. Right heel down, come up into Warrior Two. Same thing, scissoring the legs towards each other. Firming the inner thighs. And the shoulders are stacked right above the hips. So if you notice you're leaning forward, bring the shoulders back. Keep pushing down with the center of the left heel here. Keep the arms engaged. Slide the shoulder blades down the back, shoulders moving away from the ears. And let's hold here for a few more breaths. Keep bending the left knee a little deeper. Keep the attention on the right. Reach further back. Bend your left knee a little deeper. Now bring the hands together and let's move into side lunge again. Bend your right knee. You can spin the left toes up, hands together again. And you can keep your heel down to the floor or the heel off the floor. Let's try to balance here with the hands together. From here, with or without the hands, we'll move into Warrior 3. Place your left foot on the floor. Square the hips. Pick your right foot off the floor. Keep your hips level. Reach the right heel as far back as you can as you reach your chest forward. Keep moving the shoulders away from the ears. Any variation with the arms. Keep reaching the right heel, right toes pointing down to the floor. Spinning the right inner thigh up to the ceiling. Now let's start bending the standing leg. Also bend the right leg. We'll step both feet together. Squat all the way down. Reach your hands slightly forward. Keep squatting down. Let's have a seat into both pose. And you can keep your knees bent. Nice. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, half boat, halfway down. Inhale, come up, Navasana. Exhale, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, Navasana. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up, boat pose. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, come up. Bend your knees again. You can grab your feet. So bring the heels as close as you can to your glutes. Roll forward. Plant your hands. And then you can either step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And with an exhale, bring your hips back into downward facing dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths and then we'll take a break in Child's Pose. Push the hips back. And then you can set your knees down to the floor. Rest your forehead down. Let's take a break in Child's Pose. Let's bring the attention to the breath. Deep, slow, even. Keep the breath through the back of the throat again so you can slow it down. Start firming the palms of the hands down to the floor again. Forearms lift off the floor. Tuck your toes under, back into downward facing dog. Pushing the heels down. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, knee to your nose. Rounding the back again. Squeeze your thigh towards the chest. Step the right foot in between your hands. Reach the chest forward. Deep inhale, reach both hands up to the ceiling. Bring your hands together, hands to heart center. And use your exhale to twist. Bring your right elbow outside the right thigh. Reaching the left leg as far back as you can. Push the palms together. Work on stacking the shoulders. And as you twist, keep thinking of taking the breath all the way to the top of the chest. Now keep the twist. We'll float the left leg, the left foot forward next to the right. To twist the chair, you can stay right here. Option to take into side crow. Place your hands on the floor, hands about as wide as your shoulders. And then you can bring the elbow as high as you can to your right thigh. Bend your elbows. And maybe pick your feet off the floor. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Wrapping the elbows in. Set your feet down if you are on crow pose, on side crow. And then if you are twisting, release your hands down to the floor, both legs straight, everyone, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Samastiti. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, you can plant your hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep wrapping the elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling down dog again, press the heels down, pushing the floor away from you with your hands. Inhale, reach the left leg back. Exhale, knee to your nose, squeeze your thigh to your chest, shoulders over the wrists. Step your left foot in between your hands. Reach the chest forward, lengthen the spine. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Crescent Pose, briefly. Bring your hands together and with the exhale, twist to your left. Keep long with the right thigh. Engage in the right thigh up and away from the floor. Press the palms together. Work on stacking the shoulders again. And breathe. A few more breaths here. Twisting, bring the left shoulder further back. Now let's hover the right foot forward, stepping next to the left. From here, stay here on twisted chair pose, or take into side crow. Place your hands on the floor, bend your elbows, create that shelf again. Squeeze your thighs together, and maybe you pick your feet off the floor. And keep wrapping the elbows inwards here, so they don't splay out. Keep your upper back rounded, creating lift. Then if you are on side crow, you can set it down. Everyone back into twisted chair. Exhale, untwist, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's reach all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, straight back, halfway up, lengthening. Exhale, plant your hands. You can step or hop back, halfway down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep pushing the heels down here. Again, reaching the right leg back. And with an exhale, we'll step the right foot outside the right hand. into lizard. This time set your left knee down to the floor. And we have a few different options here. You can stay right here with your hands down to the floor, or bring the elbows down to the floor. You can also reach the right hand back and hold the left foot, driving the left heel towards your glutes. Open up the chest. And you can also roll to the outer edge of your right foot here. And think of getting deeper into the front of your left leg. Keep moving the hips forward. And breathe. If you're holding the foot, you can let go of it. Bring your hands down to the floor again. Step back into plank pose. Come halfway down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot outside your left hand. Place your right knee down. And try to do the same thing you did on the first side. You can stay here. Maybe you'll walk the hands forward, elbows touch the floor. Or you can bend your right knee, grab the foot with your left hand, and keep twisting the torso here. And go driving the hips forward, targeting the hip flexors on the right leg. Pulling the heel towards the glutes, and taking deep, slow breaths. You can let go of the foot if you have it. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Step back into plank pose. Chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And with an exhale, downward facing dog. Press the heels down again, pushing with the hands. Let's come forward into plank pose. Lower your forearms down to the floor to a forearm plank. Now lower your hips down, Sphinx pose. Point your toes back. Firm your quads here so your knees come off. Dragging the elbows back as if you're trying to slide your body forward. Pointing your tailbone towards your heels to protect your lower back. Moving the shoulders away from the ears. And you can stay right here, or you can straighten the arms for seal. So deeper back bend, see if that works for you. Otherwise, just keep your forearms down to the floor. Stay here for another 5 breaths. Still engaging the quads, kneecaps not touching the floor. And then slowly you can roll all the way down to the floor. Reach the hands back here. Now bend your knees, we'll grab the outside of your ankles, setting up for Asana bow pose. Flex your feet so you have a better grip here, pointing your toes down to the floor. Roll the shoulders back, and only using your back muscles, lift your chest off the floor first. Try to keep your knees about as wide as your hips here. Try to lift a little higher only with your back muscles, and then you start kicking with your feet. Maybe lift your thighs off the floor as well. Keep breathing all the way to the top of your chest. Stay here for a few deep breaths. Try to lift a little higher. Then slowly set it down. Release your feet, place your right cheek on the floor. Watch the breath. And we'll repeat that one more time. Again, reaching the hands back, bend your knees. You can grab your ankles again, flex your feet, roll the shoulders back, chest forward. Start only with your back muscles, lifting yourself up, and then add the feet. Start kicking the feet back. You can keep your thighs on the floor or lift your thighs off the floor. Try not to open the knees too wide though. 5 deep breaths. Slowly set it down. Now rest your left cheek down to the floor. Release your feet. Let's take a few deep, slow breaths. Let's bring the hands back next to the rib cage. Tuck your toes under. And then engage the legs again so your knees don't touch the floor. We'll push back up into plank from here. Plank pose. From here, straight into up dog. A reverse vinyasa. From up dog, tuck your toes. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. And then push up into plank. Downward facing dog. Push the heels down to the floor or deep, slow breaths. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, bring your knee in. Let's move into half pigeon pose. Right foot moves towards the left hand. And you can slide your left knee back as you need. Lengthen here, raise your chest. Try to square the hips. And you can fold over the right leg any amount. You can have your forearms down. Maybe walk the hands all the way forward. Or even make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on top of it. Stay here for about a minute, so keep watching the breath as you do so. Try to keep releasing tension with each exhale. Try to keep driving the left side of your hip down to the floor. And try to pick the right side of the hip off the floor. So you're targeting the outer glute on the right side. Let's come back up again. Plant your palms, tuck your left toes under. Reach your right leg back to three-legged dog. Then make some big circles here with the right leg, starting at the hip socket. Then you can change the direction of those circles, releasing the tension. Place your right foot down to the floor, take a deep breath. Exhale, let's move to the other side. Half pigeon on the left side. And if you need to slide the right knee back, you can do so. Find length here through the entire torso. And then you can fold over the left leg any amount. Again, work on releasing the tension with each exhale. Stay here for about 60 more seconds. Let's bring the hands back under the shoulders, tuck your right toes under, reach your left leg back, three-legged dog. Make big circles again. Now switch the directions. Let's come back into downward facing dog one more time. Pushing the heels down, pushing the hands down as well. Now look far forward, raise the heels high, bend your knees. We'll make our way into seated. So you can step or jump, cross the shins, reach the legs forward into Dandasana. Find your sitting bones here. You can pull the glutes to the sides, flex your toes back, and find that small tilt on the pelvis here so your back is straight. Point your toes back, spread your toes wide. Inhale, let's reach the hands up to the ceiling. And with an exhale, slowly fold forward any amount. And as you fold here, notice if you're hiking your shoulders towards your ears. Try to bring the shoulders down onto your back. Keep creating space with each inhale. And folding deeper with each exhale. And inhale, come halfway up. Let's stay for the full exhale. Again, inhale, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands next to your hips. Bend your knees slightly. You can reach your hands forward. Let's roll all the way down to your back. As you lie down, bring your knees in. Knees into your chest. And keeping the right knee in, left leg straight. Deep inhale, hug your right knee closer to the chest. Keeping the left hand outside the right knee, bring the leg all the way across to the left. For a supine twist, you can move the hips slightly to the right so the hips are stacked. And open the right arm to the side. It feels okay for your neck. You can look to your right hand here. Stay soft with the breath. And try to keep both shoulders connected with the floor. Don't worry about bringing the right knee too close to the floor. Keep softening with each exhale. Let's stay here a little longer. Then let's start untwisting. Readjust the hips. Bring both knees to your chest again. Hug it in tight. Keep your left knee in, right leg straight. Soften the right heel down to the floor. Inhale, hug your left thigh closer to the chest. And using your right hand, bring the leg all the way across. You can move the hips slightly to the left again so they are stacked. Reach the left hand to the side. And we are trying to keep both of your shoulders touching the floor. So firm the left shoulder down, twisting the torso to the left. And if it doesn't cause any discomfort on your neck, you can look towards the left hand. A few more breaths here. Then untwisting, come back through center, readjust the hips, square them again. Hug your knees into your chest. And then you can take into happy baby from here, reaching inside your knees, holding the outsides of your feet. Reach your tailbone down to the floor, long back. And you can pull your feet down so your thighs get closer to your hips, and then rock side to side here a few times. Feel both sides of your back ribs massaging the floor. From now on, allow the breath to just flow naturally. No need to control it. Breathing in and out with no effort. Now, I always like to say that you can always keep the attention with your breath without controlling it. Just watch how it flows like a river. That helps you to keep your mind calm and clear. Now let's release the feet, setting up for our final pose, Shavasana. Take your time to adjust yourself here. You can move to a wall if you'd like to take your legs up the wall. As you're home, you can put your legs up on a couch, prop yourself with pillows, releasing all the tension through your legs. Move the shoulders down on your back as well so you get more space for your neck. Bring your chin closer to the chest. And let's start releasing any tension we can find. The bite on the back of our jaw. Release your tongue. Release your fingers, your toes. This is the final pose, Shavasana. You can stay here for as long as you'd like to. I want to thank you all for joining us at Downey Yoga again. Thanks for allowing me to guide you through your practice one more time. Namaste.